back to Chicago Cars Direct. Today we're going to spend some time with a legendary vehicle. This is a 1992 Acura NSX. Right behind your head, mounted in the middle of the car, you're going to find a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine. It's a V6. It does produce 270 horsepower. It is a VTEC engine, which is variable timing and electronic control. This car was such an incredible success, it essentially introduced refinement to the supercar community. These cars were so much more refined than anything. And if you really compare what the offerings were from, whether it be Ferrari, Lamborghini, anything that's considered an exotic sports car, this kind of redefined that marketplace. But let's take a walk around it, because it really is a museum piece. And after that, I get the lucky guy's job of taking it for a spin. So we'll get to do that too. Just exemplify the condition. Like I said, it really could be a museum piece for somebody. There are two minor imperfections. I just want to note them. You got a stone chip here, right in the front. And then you have one on the lower part here. Other than that, there are no blemishes or imperfections on this. This car does have a clean history with no accidents, but everything works perfectly as if it was factory new. But just to show you, you got the pop-up headlamps up there. These are the stock wheels on this car. You're going to find a 205/50ZR15 up front. These are the Yokohamas that actually came on the car when it was new. So they are the OEM tires. Granted, these are not the actual tires that came on the car brand new. They're newer set, but probably better than 90% of the tread left. You can tell whoever did own this car took unbelievable care of it. But down the driver's side, badges, trim, I mean all the seals on the windows, I mean stuff like that that tends to dry rot, you don't have any issues with that. So this car has been very well cared for. On the rear, just to show you the rear wheel, so they are of staggered size, this one you're going to find is a 225/50ZR16. So you got a 16-inch wheel on the rear. But come around the back, I mean everything again, museum condition. No blemishes to speak of. Got the factory stock exhaust tips there. The whole car is factory stock, no modifications. But coming around to the passenger side, I mean even the quality of the greenhouse there, it's amazing. In the back of the NSX you're going to find a decent sized trunk. Considering it's a 2-place car, it's more than ample for 2 people for a weekend or week-long journey. And then also over here, you've got the Acura 6-disc CD changer. Runs right through the Bose sound system. Just want to show you under the hood. There's really no storage under here. It's mostly just vehicle components. But put the prop rod up, she said. But obviously everything is in factory new condition. I mean, you can see all the bright stickers. Everything is done here. Retrofitted with R134A for the air conditioning, which was mandatory after a while. You can see your spare, never used, but everything is in stunning detail, including all the braking components. This interior is the kind of quality that you probably could, remanufacture a Honda brochure with. It does look brand new. The only imperfection to note is the tiniest bit of wear on the bolster here. This is much lighter than you really would anticipate on a car of this vintage, but it even smells new. If you're familiar with an Acura, the scent of an Acura, it really smells like a brand new car. But the layout is unbelievable. The visibility, I can't think of a supercar or exotic sports car that has this kind of visibility. They did model this cockpit after the F-18, and you spend 5 seconds in here and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just take a look across here. You can see some of the features. You've got a tilt and separate telescoping steering wheel here. You do have, your normal necessities, cruise control, variable wipers and all. Let me see the other stuff you got here to note. Automatic climate control. Set it and forget it. Real simple to use. And the air blows ice cold. Turn that off for the moment. You do have a cassette deck up here that also pairs with the 6-disc changer, but it is a Bose sound system. But this layout, I can never get over just the feel of sitting in this car. Got the 5-speed shifter that communicates as if it's an appendage of your own body. But just to be in this car, it really makes you feel super important, and they're so reliable. Dave and I are out on a beautiful Friday afternoon on a cruise in the NSX, and I've always loved this car. I have not driven an NSX since 2003. I had to really go back in my databanks last night and figure that out, but it's every bit as amazing as I remember it to be. And at that point, that was probably the most mystifying car I'd ever driven. Aside from maybe a 911 Turbo, which when you think about it, that's another 6-cylinder car, but that's a different story. I've driven so many other cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, you name it, since then, and getting back into one, granted even a 92 model, granted it's exquisite all the way through, I'm floored at the quality. I mean, this car doesn't feel as it's aged a day. It doesn't feel like an old car. It sounds excellent, it feels excellent, it's super comfortable. These are some of the best seats I've ever sat in. The visibility, I wouldn't even say a Lotus Elise has this good of visibility. Maybe a McLaren F1, which I've never even sat in, but if I had to imagine, I would say that's what you see out here. But it looks like you see the asphalt that is just about to go right under you. It's pretty amazing. This is really a spectacular car, and I'm not just saying that to say it. This really is a unbelievable engineering marvel. Just give you an idea of the interior acoustics. Here's what they sound like. It's a VTEC kicking. I'll shut it down. Holy cow. It sounds beautiful. Just driving this car around town, you have the magic of what a Honda really is. It really is it's the ease and use of just all the amenities you could want. The car drives as easily as a Honda Accord, really. Feels like a Porsche 911 in a lot of ways. Almost has a little bit of a flat six feel to it. The VTEC definitely lends to that, but pretty spectacular nonetheless. It's really difficult to imagine that this car is actually 17 years old. I mean, I know it's a museum piece in condition. It's got virtually no miles on it. 14,000 miles. That's less than 1,000 a year on average. But, I mean, the tires, everything on this car is in original manufacturer's spec condition. It really is about as close to a new 92 NSX as you're going to get. White is an amazing color on this car. The paint, everything is in excellent condition. There's no previous accident history with this car, so it hasn't been compromised in any way. I've got a copy of the AutoCheck Vehicle History Report here in my hand. It is a perfectly clean vehicle. There's really no negative information, no previous accident history. Everything is consistent on it, mileage and everything, because I know with these low mile cars you want to make sure it's right, but just a handful of registration events, so that means every time they renew their plates you got quite a good list of renewals. But take a look at our website. You'll find this at chicagocarsdirect.com, and we have a ton more pictures of it. Or check out our YouTube channel. You'll find us at youtube.com/chicagocarsdirect. Thanks for having so much fun with this. I know I had a blast. I'm looking forward to maybe doing one more lap in it. But check with us next time, and we'll see you soon.